while there was a bit of a back and forth between the Mariners and the Yankees end up winning 9-6, win their third game in a row, and win the major league debut for Cam Schlittler. It's really was a fun game to watch if you're a Yankees fan. I think if you look at what Schlittler was able to do in this game, we haven't seen this kind of velocity from a Yankees pitcher this year. I know it's been talked about a lot about how the Yankees have been able to have success without guys throwing in the very, very upper 90s or 100. And Cam comes in here in his MLB debut and throws not only the fastest pitch a Yankee has thrown this season at 100 miles an hour, but 9 of the 10 fastest pitches of the season from Schlittler in this game. And, his final line doesn't look anything too crazy. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. But he was pretty solid in this game. Did give up a pair of home runs. That third run came across on a home run allowed by Jonathan LeMahieu, who we'll talk about here in a second. But he looked really good in his debut. He did everything the Yankees could have asked for him. They spotted him an early 3-0 lead with some timely hitting in the first inning. And then eventually they got into the home run parade as the Yankees hit a couple more home runs in this game. Jazz Chisholm with 2 home runs, one in the solo shot in the third, a 2-run home run in the fifth. We saw Aaron Judge with a 2-run double. We saw Jasson Dominguez at the top of the lineup. He got on base 4 times, 3 hits and a walk in 5 plate appearances, scored twice, and also drove in a run. He is now flirting with a 270 batting average, and now he is up to a 774 OPS. So after some real doldrums there, I believe in May, he has really come back along. Everybody in the Yankees starting lineup, aside from Oswald Peraza, who is the team's third baseman right now, was particularly after Jazz moved back to second, and the Yankees ended up DFAing D.J. LeMahieu, which we'll talk about as well at the end of this podcast. But everybody in the Yankees lineup got a hit. 4 guys had multiple hits: Austin Wells, Jazz Chisholm, Cody Bellinger, and the aforementioned Jasson Dominguez. Loizaga struggled, but the stars of the back end of the bullpen were good here. They got 5 outs, 5 really strong outs from Luke Weaver, who looked like his old self, and then a painless, nearly perfect, calm 9th inning from Devin Williams, who continues to put up some really good numbers lately, gets his 13th save of the season. And really the takeaway on this game for me is obviously we'll talk about what the rookie was able to do, and I want to get into that in a second. But the big picture takeaway for me was that this is a team now for a couple games in a row has not only been able to put up a large volume of offense, but has been able to fight back when the other team starts to push back a little bit. Because Seattle has not gone away. Again, the Yankees got out to that early 3-0 lead, but, at one point it was 4-2, and then the Yankees come back with a couple runs in the 5th. They respond to 2 runs from Seattle in the 6th with 3 runs of their own in the 6th. So, I like to see that this is a team that is consistently battling again, and they kind of feel like they've got their mojo a bit. But let's talk about the rookie, Cam Schlittler. 9 swings and misses in this game. Obviously, the 5 fastest pitches of the game, all 99 up to 100.0 miles an hour. So when we read out the scouting report on him on Wednesday's show, kind of undersold him a little bit, compared to, what you would normally imagine, because I read the report and we all discussed it and saw this would happen, that would happen, whatever, but did not include triple digits in that report, which again is always the risk you take, because those scouting reports are not necessarily updated as frequently for guys that are heavily in the minors and didn't show up to even get a cup of coffee in the pros yet. But Really liked what we got from him in this game. 9 swings and misses from him. Top velocity, 100 miles an hour. And I'm trying to take a look here at some of his pitching charts here. I'm doing this in real time, by the way, because they're going to have more of this available by the time you're listening to this. But obviously, right after the game, you're starting to kind of look at what they're able to do. And boy, I don't know how you cannot be excited about what you saw from him in this game, and really dominated through 5 different pitches in this game. His 4-seam, slider, curve, sweeper, and sinker. And it was really good to see how he could mix a little bit of that. Again, he was heavy, 4-seam and slider. I mean, that is his forte, but did mix in the sinker, did mix in the curve, and I mean, you really saw him dominate with a couple of those options, but really he did a good job overall. The Mariners ended up hitting .211 against him in this game, and he did give us some hard hits, gave up 5 hard hits, including those 2 home runs. But sometimes that's going to happen when you're a high velocity guy. But for the most part, he had a lot of success in the zone, and he was able to. He attacked the zone a lot. If you look at his chart, and now he missed a little bit high on some of these pitches, but he wasn't putting balls in the dirt. Like he was putting a lot of pitches in contending spots for hitters, and some of them hit it hard. But he also got some swings and misses as well, which was good to see. So we'll continue to monitor him and see what he ends up doing, over the course of the, however many starts he gets the opportunity to have. But really solid performance from him in this game. And I don't know how you cannot be encouraged, and particularly from the standpoint of just understanding that he is providing an element of velocity that we have not seen from Yankees pitchers this year. It's a little bit of a different look, and it's a little bit fun to see. So I'm very happy to see what he was able to put together in this game with his dad in the stands to watch him get his first career start and his first career win. But before we wrap things up and talk about the series finale to come later today, we need to talk about the roster move news of the day, and that was that the inevitable has finally happened. The Yankees DFA'd D.J. LeMahieu, subsequently ending his tenure with the Yankees. And it has been a roller coaster of a ride for D.J. LeMahieu with New York, because there was a time early in his tenure in New York, and I'd say particularly, obviously 2019 was the main year, but he was, don't forget how unbelievable he was during that COVID season in 2020. He put up 3 wins above replacement in only 50 games. So, I mean, those first 2 years in the Bronx were really special. He had 2 top 5 MVP finishes, 2 Silver Sluggers, an All-Star, and obviously he would have been an All-Star in the COVID year if they would have had one. You're looking at a stretch of a little less than 200 games where he had an 8.6 WAR and an OPS plus of 146 while providing really solid defense. And then things really, really kind of fell off from there. He put together unspectacular but still useful seasons in 2021 and 2022, and then has been pretty much unplayable since. And over the last season, the last couple years, he's only been able to play about 112 games. But those first 2 seasons were really special, and even 2022 was fine. Because he gave you Gold Glove caliber defense, a 730. He had a 734 OPS, a 110 OPS plus. Like, he was playable. But otherwise, it's really gone downhill these last 3 years. And just given the fact that he really can't play third base and really kind of made it clear to Boone and Cashman that he didn't feel like he physically could handle playing that position well, given the fact that Jazz needs to be and is a second baseman and needs to stay there, there really isn't a lot of roster flexibility for a guy that's basically going to be second base only. And so given that situation and given the roster flexibility the Yankees need, especially with, how many guys are tied up in that like catcher, first base, outfield section that they're already playing musical chairs with, they need an everyday third baseman, and I think that's going to be somebody that they're going to go after at the deadline very, very aggressively. It was time to end the D.J. LeMahieu tenure, and we'll see if we catches on somewhere else. Obviously, the Yankees still owe him plenty of money over the next season and a half, but it was time. And, he made some amazing contributions early on in his deal when he came over from Colorado, but it did not age well, and unfortunately, this was needed. So, but it was a needed move. The Yankees appear to be setting things up to be aggressive to add a third baseman before the end of this month. I think most Yankee fans are probably hoping it's Eugenio Suarez. That is who I would hope that it's going to be. I know other names like Ryan McMahon, who he's been really bad this year, and it's another lefty bat. Not sure that's the guy I want. I know Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has been thrown out there. I mean, again, it's fine. I don't think that's really exciting. Ke'Bryan Hayes would be basically you're locking him into your 9-hole because he is one of the worst hitters in baseball, but he's also one of the best defenders in baseball. So he would be a move that I think is the fallback of like, hey, if you can't get somebody that's going to add to the bat, maybe just add an elite defender and an elite base runner in Ke'Bryan Hayes. But I think Suarez is the one that you want. And again, you never know. It takes two to tango. And there's a lot of things that go into some of these decisions. And the Yankees also going to need to make sure they've got, assets that they can move for some pitching, because they still need some help in the bullpen. Jonathan Loaisiga really been struggling once again. And it's quite unfortunate to see what's going on with him right now. He doesn't look quite right. But I will say that a couple bullpen arms, maybe a starter. We'll see how that ends up rolling out, but we will see what the Yankees are able to bring in. But I think third base is going to be pretty high on their list, and I don't see anybody in their system right now that's going to come up and take that spot. And at this point, I think Oswald Peraza has been given enough chances to sink his teeth into that role and hasn't yet, that I think you're going to need to find some help from outside the organization. So we will see what they do there, but the Yankees are going to be back going for the sweep. Another 7:05 p.m. start time. It'll be Marcus Stroman on the mound against all-star pitcher Brian Wu. So this is a mismatch from a starter standpoint, but and which has caused the Mariners actually to be the small favorites in this game despite being on the road. But we will see what Marcus Stroman is able to do. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been bad. I don't think he's been great. I think he's been okay in his 2 starts back. He's allowed 4 earned runs over 10 innings pitched. He's been fine, but not somebody I have a ton of confidence in right now, but we'll see what he's able to do here in the Bronx tonight, and hopefully the Yankees can earn the sweep and win their 4th in a row.